Alright, folks. Here we are in Space Engineers. I wanted to try out a new game of Space Engineers because I hadn't actually played with any of the survival mechanics that they've recently introduced in some of the latest updates. So we're just going to do a new game. Alright. No, we're not going to do quick start. So, let's see here. We're not doing sandbox. We're doing sandbox. We're not doing story mode here. So, then we're going to go over here. One of the most popular parks of the future. We're going to take a look and see here. I think we'll just do the standard solar system start. So let's take a look at that. Do customize just to see. Survival, yes. Yeah, this is offline. It's just me. Yeah, we'll just leave all that. And there is one thing that's usually good. Let's see here. World size. Yeah, that's fine. Solar radiation intensity. Yeah, we're gonna spawn the tools. Yep. Enable drones, cargo ships, all that. That's fine. Structural blocks, fine. I'm not gonna bother with aim assist. Let's see here. Adaptive simulation, what's that do? Super gridding, sub gridding, permanent death, we're not turning that on. Okay, this all looks fine, because used to you had to enable things like, you know, economy and stuff, but I think that's all default now these days. It's been about 2 or 3 years since I've played Space Engineers. So, I'm having to go back through and look at some of the... Yeah, see, economy is already enabled by default. Perfect. Alright, so let's just leave all of that basically enabled. Building speed, we'll just leave that all default. Autosave is fine. Cool. So we'll just do that. There we go. And welcome viewers. Feel free to drop chats. I am watching the chat. Okay. Here we go. I don't want to be too difficult, so I think we'll do the Earth-like drop pod because it's been so long since I've done this. So we'll do that. And spawn. There we go. Yep. Let's see here. Okay. Alright. So that's all fine. Yep. Oh, that's fine. Escape. G. Okay. Got all that. Ore detector toggle on or off. Gyroscope's on or off. Alright. So ore detector is on. What was this? Park on or off. Okay. Now I gotta remember. No. Is it F5? No. Alright, I gotta remember the controls here. Give me a second, folks. Let's see here. Controls. Character. View. Here we go. Free spectator to first V. That's what I was looking for. V for first person. Slash third person. There we go. Alright. There we go. So one of the things we need to do is we need to start looking for some ores. So let's see if we can't find some ores around here. Now, if I remember... Yeah, spaces break. Okay. It's a way for me to zoom in and out. Alt. There we go. And Alt will let me free look. Now, one of the things I've heard from one of the other YouTubers that's pretty good at this game, and that's a guy named Slipsy, is to look for kind of discolored ground patches to help find ores. Okay, so that is on. There we go. So let's go ahead, set up this way. See if we see anything here. Alright, let's see here. Any ores over here? Because we're going to need some ores, and if worst comes to worst, we can always just start mining stone. And one of the other things they've added to the game is food. That's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. I'm not seeing any ores in this area. That's not good. What is my detection range on my ores detector here? Ore detector, ore detector. Range is only 50. Okay. We gotta get pretty close. Alright. Let's see here. Actually, let me check something else here. I have an inventory? I do. So let's see here. So let's read this. So this will tell us where there's a nearby trade station we can go to. So we're going to create a GPS marker. Okay. Let's put the gun in our... Also, well, we can just leave the food in here for now. Alright, so now... GPS... Trade station... Alright. There we go. So we've got that. Okay, so it's 26 kilometers that way. So we'll kind of just head in that direction, see if we can't find some ores and stuff. Oh, found some iron. That's perfect. Now, let's see, here's GPS. Nope, that's not what I want. Nope. I know I can get here. There we go. Create new GPS. From current position. We're going to call this iron deposit. There we go. And that will let us get some more. So let's get back into first person here. We're going to put into park. And we're going to get out of the cockpit. Now, that is... Why'd that... I went back into first person for a reason there, game. Alright, there we go. So where's that iron? Let's get our... Oh, I also need to fix up my menu bar here. Basic refinery. Well, let's drop the landing. Let's drop that. Drop that. Let's go to tools. Or weapons, actually. And we'll put the pistol on number 4 here. And we'll go back to blocks. And there we go. I'll put the armor blocks back over here. There we go. Alright. Let's get our drill out. So we know the iron's kind of below us. So we're going to crouch. And we're going to start drilling. And are we not drilling? Yeah, that is loud. Let me adjust that volume for you guys there. That audio is awful loud. Hold on. There we go. It's still kind of loud. Let's see here. Pick up that stuff there. Let me go fix that audio again here. Still pretty loud. Let's go. There we go. The reason I'm grabbing the stone, folks, is because we can throw that into the survival kit on our rover. And use it. Now, I could be using a different style of drilling that would just delete the rock instead of allowing me to pick it up. And that would be, you know, helpful for, you know, if I was just trying to make the hole fast. But I also detected an unknown signal just a second ago. Respawn pod, where's that unknown signal? It's 1.5 kilometers that way. I don't want to go over there for all that. Let's see here. Just go I here. Survival kit. So let's just go to survival kit. I think I can just do that. Production survival kit. There we go. I'll keep it busy for a bit. We're doing this at an angle like this, so I don't have to try and use my jetpack to get in and out of the hole. Mostly because if I have to use my jetpack, that's limited fuel that we have. Yeah, it's a lot of digging and mining in this game, for those who have not played Space Engineers. Eventually you get, like, ship-mounted drills and things like that. Turn on my light so I can actually see as I get underground here. Definitely feel like this hole is not going down as I want very well. That's alright. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Now there's some button combination that would let me deposit all this stone in here. There we go. I had to remember what it was to deposit it all. There we go. Alt. Middle mouse button. That's what it is. Got it. The reason we're doing this is because we're going to need this iron ore, because it will refine into more materials better than the stone will. The stone will certainly refine into iron. The iron ore will do it faster and more efficiently. Now, the stone will also refine into other materials that we need, like silicon and iron and such. And part of the reason this is also so slow is because we haven't gotten an improved drill. We're still using the basic drill here. So let's go ahead and get out of this hole here. Yep. There we go. Ah, good enough. We'll just open this up as well, which is nice. So we also get gravel from this. But you can see we're getting iron, nickel, and silicon. All very good. So I'm actually going to put all of that in here for now. There we go. There. That'll just free up a little more inventory space for the processing of iron and stuff. There we go. Have we hit iron yet? No, but we're hitting Dinther stone, which is why I'm getting more stone. There we go. The dreaded inventory full is message. But that's alright. Got this. There we go. And as we work our way down to this iron deposit.
Inventory full.
There we go. Now I just gotta find my way back out of here. I went straight down. That's what was going on there. Yeah, smooth this out a little bit. Okay, there we go. That'll get us a lot of stone to keep processing there. As we get down into this iron deposit. I'm just widening our hole a little bit.
Inventory full.
Well, at least we're going to be set on stone and stuff for a while. What are we doing in this? It's pretty full, but it's processing it nicely. We are going to need to find a proper silicon and nickel deposit, though, at some point. There's lots of other materials we are going to need. So you can see we're starting to hit iron now. That's what that reddish color is there. Yep, so now if we check our inventory, it's still all stone, but this reddish color you're starting to see, that's the iron ore that we're looking for. That was our first wolf attack, folks. And we got 3 raw meat. Go ahead and reload here. Hold on, wait a minute. No, that's right, it's magazines, not... so I just wasted ammunition there. Okay. So we can actually heal up. Because we have a survival kit. And our food's starting to get a little low. One of the things I learned from the fellow I've been watching here So we're going to put this raw meat in here. Is you want to kind of eat these. Let's see here. How is it? Nope. That's not what I want it. Nope. Okay, how do I do these? Is it right click? Yeah, it's right click once it's in your inventory. Because it's a slow over time process by which those refill your food bar there. So you kind of got to make sure you're doing it at certain points. We're starting to get down into this iron now. Now if I check, yeah, see now we've actually got some iron ore, which is what we were looking for. There we go. We're going to dump all that in there. And let's see how we're doing inventory space-wise. Still got a lot of stone. This is processing. Okay, I think it ran out of stone to process there. Production. Refining. There we go. We'll just sell it to process 1,000. It'll keep processing stone as long as we throw stone into it that way. We're going to keep mining out some stone and stuff. Just because we're going to need a lot more resources if we're going to get a little base of operations going here. Now, idealistically, I'd like to find some more resource nodes. But let's take what we've got and go look for some other resource nodes. I'm going to have to, mine this out a little bit. To make getting out of here a little easier, I think. There we go. Yeah, it's a little easier to walk. But feel free to ask questions, folks. Or make comments or whatever. There we go. How we doing? We're a little full, but that's alright. We'll throw all that in there. Throw this in here. Okay, good. Now it's processing nicely. Alright. Let's go to our production panel. See what we can make. Okay, so this can make... So we can make some more extra ammunition. So we'll actually queue up, like... an extra 7 rounds of ammunition. Just because, since I accidentally wasted a magazine... There we go. Yeah, we've run it out of stone, so that's fine. Basic tools, basic equipment. No, we can make a flare gun. That's new. And it can make... Oh, so this can make the kelp crisps if it has algae. Interesting. Okay, cool. Alright. So let's start figuring out where we kind of want to set up shop here. Yeah, throw this ammunition in my pack there. Alright. And, let's see here, we're going to switch over to the gun just so I have it out in case we get jumped by another wolf. So we've got an unidentified signal over there. How are my lights on this? Let me adjust my lights because this... Let's see here, control lights. There we go. Do I have... No, I don't have any extra lights, so let's just increase the radius here. There we go. We're going to increase the intensity a little bit. That doesn't seem to be helping. But there we go. Alright. That'll help us see a little bit better. Oh, we are loaded down. Oh, because I've got park on. Ah. So you're going like, why can't I not move? I left the parking brake on, folks. Just like a real car. Don't leave the parking brake on. Let's head over towards this unknown signal. We got like 2 of them over here. We'll keep our eye out for silicon as well. Okay, so there's a... So we've got one unknown signal at... Is that 5? Okay, so that's like 4,000 kilometers. So we'll go to this closer one over here. It looks like there's some sort of trade building off to the side here. What happened to this unknown signal that was over here? Did it just explode on me? Oh, we found nickel. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to make a GPS marker right here, because we want to remember this nickel. We go new from current position. Nickel deposit. There we go. Let's see here. What's this unknown signal? So it's just showing me that one. I don't care about that one. Alright. So let's keep going. We can find silicon. That would be ideal. Oh, I found silicon. We found silicon and magnesium right here. That's beautiful. Alright. I think we just found our base location. It's not too far from iron. We've got silicon and magnesium in the area, so that's pretty good. So we'll go new from current position. Silicon and mag. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Okay, so first things first, let's get out of the cockpit. There we go. Now we need to start building, I think. So let's come back over here. Hear sound. Actually, that's something I should also do, is go ahead and eat another set of kelp chips. Alright. So let's go to our production menu here. We're going to need some steel plates. Alright. So let's go ahead and grab like 15 or 20 of them. We're going to need several things. But we'll start at the steel plates here. Because idealistically, what we're going to do now is we're going to get this armor block here. We're going to start placing some down here. Let's see here. So we'll do. All right, I don't have the. Can't do that without the steel plate in my inventory. Yeah, good lord. No, I don't want the big ones. Is it R? There are. Okay. I want the big ones, not the small ones. There we go. Throw down a few. Okay, so let's also go ahead and get G. No, is it R? No, R switches. Okay. Is it T? Nope. I'm trying to remember the button here. Nope. There's a button for selecting which one you want. I know I can do it with G. So like I can come here and I can do that. So I want... That's not the button I'm looking for. What is it? Okay. Before I sit here and mess around too much, let's go into my grids and objects. Create copy, cut object. Nope. That's not what I want. Block placement. Here we go. Rotate. New. Remember those. Orientation. Okay. Summary. Remove finding. Cycle placement modes. Toggle size. Okay, so it might be B. I think B was what I'm looking for. No, I don't think that was it, actually. Go back. Block orientation, block symmetry. Symmetry setup. Oh. Rotate. Repaint. Cube size. No, I don't think this is it. What is it? It's nice to know we can pick the color of something, right? Oh, you like Space Engineers, David? Or David, have you not seen Space Engineers before? Let's see here, toolbars. Nope. Nope. Okay, this gets back to the block here. So, no, that's not what I want. Well, I'll just do this. I know if I go down to toolbar 2 here, that's all I want. What is it? I should have remembered what the toolbar is. Okay, so you've not really seen it, but you've been interested in playing it. Yeah, this is Space Engineers 1. They've actually released the playtest / early access for Space Engineers 2. And I've seen a couple people do a little bit on that. And I've heard that it's kind of got the building a little bit there, like you can build stuff, but it doesn't really have the rest of the mechanics that are in Space Engineers 1, like the economy system, the combat systems, and all that stuff, the setting up signal logic and whatnot that you can really get into in this game, which, I'll be honest, I'm not the master of signal logic in this game. Wish I was, but that's a friend of mine named Quincy, who's even built like little drones and stuff using some of the systems in this game. And we found another unknown signal. But now I just need to remember what the command is for changing stuff here. It's Q? Nope. It's not R, not T. Yep. I can hop up on this, so that's fine. So this will work. There we go. And turn my jetpack on for a second. I'm going to go up a little bit. How much more iron plate do I have, I wonder? Go. Let's see here. It's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Because one of the things we got to do right now is we got to get some sort of power going here. And let's see here. We need 7. So we're going to need... What do I need for that? Oh, I need interior plate. Oh, interesting. Okay. Where's my... There it is. Nope. Turn that off, save fuel. So I need interior plate. Okay. Let's make like a few of these. We're gonna need like... Nope, not 100. There we go. We need like 20. We're gonna need like 20 of those. What was it, like 10 and 20? We'll do that. That should get us going there. The main reason I'm building a wind generator is because that will generate power for us, because we're going to need power for the base. But the other thing I need... I still need to figure out the placement thing. So, there's 9. So pressing it is switching that. And does that. T does that. Oh, okay, so it's the mouse wheel. That's what I was messing up. There we go. Good lord. Alright. Nope. There we go. That's what I needed. Because I just wanted to build like a little ramp for getting up here. And so you can use the home and different buttons on that to like rotate your blocks. There we go. How much steel plate do I have? I have 5 steel plate left. It's how much for these? 10. So basically, these blocks are here, but they're not fully built. So I could weld in more steel plate. That's what this tool in my hand is. It's a welder for doing that. And that would let me, you know, make the blocks. Alright, so let's go up here. So get back on. 7. Yeah, I can make a bigger wind turbine. Trying to figure out what's going on with that different wind turbine. Nothing. I think it just looks different.
Fuel low.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Fuel critical.
Ow. Ow. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to do this the janky way until we can get more jetpack fuel. Ah, great. Don't run out of jetpack fuel. And that's why you try not to do that. But there we go. This will get me up there to weld it, which is what matters at the moment. Yeah, maybe. Come on, thing. Let me get up there to weld this. Okay. I'll have to grind those out and try again. Alright. Okay, so let's do... There we go. That. Mouse wheel. That. Mouse wheel. And... Well, if I get this right. Nope. Keep doing this the wrong way. There we go. Alright. Let's see if we can get up there and weld it this time. Running jump. There we go. Running jump. Aha. And this is how you build things. So I need girders. And more interior plate. Girders and interior plate. So I need 24 girders. Production. So I need like 10 more interior plate. 2 and 24 girders. There we go. So this will help me finish building my windmill. So we'll have my wind turbine. So we'll actually have some power. Grab the interior plate there. I find it interesting it's built out of interior plate instead of steel plate. I guess it kind of makes sense because it's supposed to be a lighter weight material. Let's see here. Come on. Just a couple more girders. Wow. Okay, now I still have iron. Alright. For a second there, I thought that was the last of my iron. There we go. And, David, since you've never seen this before, if you notice when I'm looking at this, there's a functional line there. And it doesn't actually take the entirety of the components for the device to work. You just have to get enough to get it up to that functional line. So, like there, it's now working. It's now generating power. But it's obviously not fully built, so I can actually add in the rest of the components if I have them. I'm short 3 interior plate, so it's only like 97%. That's kind of a way to represent like its functional hit points, because as things take damage, the components will get destroyed on these things. And you can also grind them down to get components out of items that you make. So, need like 3 of these, just because I want this one to be fully built. And then, let's go over here. Let's get some more... Let's get, like, 30 more steel plate. What else do I need, really? Let's see here. I have a basic refinery. Yeah, and so part of the reason that's really important is that functional line is also how far down you have to grind the components out of something to hack it. So let's say you found, like, another ship that isn't yours. You didn't build it. Like an NPC ship or something, and you wanted to take control of parts of it, you would grind it down to that, past that functional line, and then weld it back up by replacing those parts, and now it becomes your object instead of you having to, like, completely destroy it. It's good for salvaging, you know. Do I have progression turned on? I do have progression turned on, don't I? So let's get the basic refinery built. Alright. So we got that. We're going to have to do something about this. So that being the way it is, let's go over... I'm going to go over this way a little bit. Just build a little bit more base of operations type thing. There we go. Get our grinder out. I'm going to take down this monstrosity. There we go. Alright. Now, I need a basic refinery. Let's see here. Nope. I don't want you rotated like that.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, I understand that I'm out of jetpack fuel. Here, I'll turn the jetpack... The jetpack's already off thing. That's not what I want. This one. You know, that'd be fine right there. Okay. Let's see here. What do I need for this? I need construction components, motors, and computers. So I'm going to go get those. If you noticed, it added those components, David, that I had. So let's grab... We need, what? 10 computers, like 20 construction components. A lot of steel plate. I think I needed some more motors, too. Yeah, I needed, like, 8 more motors. There we go. These motors take nickel, which is part of the reason it's important to have nickel. The other thing I'm going to need to do here soon... Let's see here. We got silicon and magnesium below me. And nickel. Alright, I guess we'll dig down some. Yeah, we'll dig down like right here. So what I'm doing is I'm digging down to the ores below me at an angle here. And then I'm also grabbing the rock as I go, because the rock I'm digging up I can convert into iron, nickel, and silicon thanks to my survival kit that's on my rover that I landed with. Now, I know this is making a lot of noise. I'm going to have to work on that. Give me a second. Give me a second, folks. I'm going to fix the volume on that a little bit for the stream here. There we go. Okay. Let's see if that's a bit better. Yeah, that shouldn't be drowning me out too much now. We're going to mine down towards this nickel. And that's part of the reason I need all this, because the machine I'm building right now is the basic refinery, which will let me convert this stuff into, you know, usable resources, because the survival kit can't refine ores. It can refine stone into materials, but it can't refine ores into materials. The basic refinery that I'm building can. A lot of people would just throw away the stone at this point, if they were playing the game. But at the point I'm in, I need the stone. Just realized my light was on. Light? Okay, now the light's on. There you go. No, I'm too tall to get out of there. There we go. Alright, we're just going to come over here and toss that in there. And if we look into here, you notice it's pulling the stone in and starting to refine it into more iron, nickel, and silicon. It's not the best conversion rate, but, you know, it's better than not having components. But why that works on that, I'm going to come over here and keep building up this thing. Yeah, so now we're just short a little bit of steel plate. So we'll get there soon. If I build, what about 40 more steel plate? Wow, it got dark out. Okay. Let's see your production. So we'll build like There we go. That should handle it. Back into the mines. And the cool thing is, we've got nickel and magnesium here, along with the silicon. The silicon we need for making, like, you know, computers and those kinds of electronics. The magnesium we'll need for, like, more advanced weaponry systems and stuff.
Inventory full.
Okay, let's just... There we go. It was giving me a hard time walking out of there. So we're just going to widen up this hole a little bit. There we go. Alright. Okay, back into the hole we go.
Critical.
I don't know why it's complaining to me about the jetpack fuel.
Inventory full.
At least now I can walk out of here without bumping my head and everything. Alright. How are we doing? It's still processing nicely. So we'll grab these parts here. Grab computer pieces. There we go. And now if we come over here, we should be able to finish this. There we go. So now our basic refinery is at least functional. Alright. Now the next thing I'm going to want... We're going to need food source. And let's see here. So we're going to need an algae farm. What's the difference between the algae farm and the half algae farm? Well, I'll take the algae farm down here. Let's see here. Basic assembler. We're going to need a basic assembler, too. Let's see here. So that's 5. So let's rotate this.
Energy critical.
Yep. There we go. Oh, I need some more steel plate. Okay, okay. Since you're complaining about my energy, sitting in the cockpit of the vehicle will also recharge our energy. Oh, we had... good to know that we actually have some stored hydrogen in the tanks, so that will let us refill our hydrogen tanks so we can actually use our jetpack again. That's nice. So I can actually, you know, move my... I can actually move that up higher on the thing there. You know, heal myself up from where I fell from while building my thing. There we go. Alright, now... So what I think I'll do... Okay. I didn't catch which way it was east or west here. There's supposed to be some way for me to figure out which direction is the sunrise and sunset and all that. Let's see here, factions. There's only a couple factions, it looks like, but that's not what we need here. GPS. Oh well. Be nice if I knew which direction I was facing, but that's okay. So what we'll do is we'll wait for sunrise. But first things first, we're going to get some more steel plates here. So let's go ahead and queue up probably, what, say 50 more steel plates here. Let's see what we need for these algae farms. We need steel plate, bulletproof glass, tubes, computers, and construction materials. Alright, so we're going to need those things. So let's see here. Now this can't make tubes, so that's going to be a slight problem. Can't even make the bulletproof glass. Yeah. That's a real issue. Okay, well we can get some construction components, we can get some computers. Make a bunch of those. Now let us start laying out these components here. So let's come over here. Now this, we'll be able to refine the iron we picked up earlier, so let's grab that. So let's grab our iron ore. Here's our iron ore. I think it'll technically do stone as well. So we throw this in here. Why is this not on? Basic refinery. Fired input. What's our wind turbine? We're not producing enough power. That's what's going on here. Okay. So I'm going to need another wind turbine. Let's grab the components for another wind turbine here. So we'll grab this. Go to production. What are we low on? What are we missing? We are out of iron. Okay. So back into the hole. We need more iron. I'll use this as the opportunity to keep working towards that nickel deposit. There we go. Go. That'll get us the iron we need.
Inventory full.
A lot of stone mining in the early parts of survival on this. There we go. Just throw that in the cockpit. It'll keep pulling it out. Let's see here. How are we doing production-wise? Okay, so we got that coming in. I'll go grab some more of this stone that's down here while that works on that.
Inventory full.
Okay, there we go. More stone equals more iron. More iron equals more production. Stone. There we go. Alright. Grab these components. So every time you see one of these unknown signals, that's a random, basically, drop you can go and collect. Okay, so we need girders and other stuff. Alright, so let's see here. Heaters. Yep. Okay. Production. Let's see here. I need what? 24 girders, I think it was. So what? Yeah, 24. And then I needed more interior plate. There we go. Alright, we'll grab these. Alright. Get back on. So we're going to need another windmill, basically. Yeah, we need motors and more interior plate. Oh, hit the ground kind of hard there. There we go. Sun is slowly coming up. I'm not sure from what direction, though. Alright, there's the girders. Production, what's going on? What are we short on? Iron. More iron. The insatiable need for iron. Is that all iron? Yeah, that's all stone. Alright, perfect. Eventually we'll get to the point where we have, like, ships with drills, and I might even build, like, a drill arm on the base at this point, because of how much just raw materials I'm needing right now.
Inventory full.
But we are not there yet. Right now, it is just a trying to grind enough materials kind of situation. People feel free to chat. You know, I am keeping an eye on chat. If you got questions, comments, things you think I could be doing better here. Or if you can tell me to figure out which direction is what so I can figure out where to put my solar panels and whatnot. That'd also be cool. Like, you know. Come on. Take all the stone, please. There we go. Go up. Missed stone. Got all of it. Cool. Alright. Hopefully that's enough stone to get us through this next bit of iron we need here. Alright. Production. How we doing? Now that gravel can eventually, I think, be used to make concrete or something, if I remember correctly. Alright. Got the girders coming in again. I'll grab these girders. Now I just need the interior plate. Come on. There we go. More interior plate. So interior plate's commonly used to make things like, you know, beds and other interior things you'd have inside like of a base or a ship. You know, that kind of stuff. In my experience. So it's interesting to me that the wind turbines use it. Come on. Where's my interior plate? There we go. Alright. Now let's go see if we can't finish the second wind turbine. So if I turn on the... There we go. Oh, we need motors. Oh, I forgot the motors. And motors. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 motors. And we will have our second wind turbine. Actually, I just realized I can't produce... Yeah, I can't produce power cells here, which means I can't make batteries for storage power. That's a slight problem. That's why we're making wind turbines. And we don't have to worry about storing power necessarily. Problem is, wind turbines are not consistent. They will fluctuate with the weather. Just like solar panels will fluctuate with whether or not the sun's up. Alright, here we go. She's functional. What about this one? I need how much? I need like about 10 more interior plates. Then we can finish both of those up. Alright. Production. So it was, what? 3 and 6 are like 9. We can go with 9. There we go. That's not what I want. into the inventory. There we go. Okay. Alright, that one's finished 100%. And that one's finished 100%. There we go. Alright, let's see here. How much power are we producing now? Control panel. Go. Wind turbines. So that's producing... What about... Yeah, so we're producing a fair amount. So this is now on. So if we go to our production... Yeah, so that's now processing materials. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, what we need is a basic assembler. Okay, so let's do that. Actually, I'm going to put this on the back. Nope, that's not what I want. Okay, let's do... Nope. There we go. Beautiful. I'm just being nitpicky about how I wanted it set up. There we go. So now, with our basic assembler going in, so we need more motors, more computers, a lot more computers, 4 displays and 10 motors, and a bunch of construction components. Okay, so construction components, computers, motors. So let's see here. Production. Can we get 10 computers and 4 displays? And we need to what about 10 more? No, not 100. We need like 10 more construction components, and I think it was 10 motors. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah, we're going to be short some material. So let's go down in the hole. Back into the hole. Actually, wait, we don't even have to go into the hole. We have some iron right here. Good thing I remembered that I had iron there. There we go. Okay. Doesn't look like we're short on anything there. We just gotta wait for this production run. We can have a basic assembler up. Because once we have a basic assembler, we can start producing some stuff. Then the next issue is going to be how I kind of want to pipe all this in. Oh, that's interesting, Jupiter. Thanks for sharing with the class. I hope it wasn't from eating too many kelp chips served in Space Engineers now. Because it's not really kelp, it's just algae. Alright. Let's see here. That should be enough. What do I get materials-wise? Just stone. Okay. Alright, alright. My components should hopefully be done. Yes. Alright, let's see if we can finish this assembler. Nope. Still need more I need a lot more computers now. And construction components. Okay. I misread the numbers. Goodness. Alright, let's see here. I'm gonna need like 20 more of those and like 30 more of those. That will get it done. But anyways, how's everybody else doing out there? So you're just sitting here watching me produce random stuff. Ah, I see. Yeah, you gotta be careful what you eat at the random places up the road. Yeah, the one that used to serve that here, they closed it down, unfortunately. Not due to health inspection. I have no idea why it closed down. There we go. Alright. Now we actually can make the stuff we need to make the algae farms. Just gotta figure out how I'm gonna line those up. Alright. See, this has a lot better production options. For example, we can actually make small tubes now. And even slightly improved gear. Yay. And a rifle. Don't we feel special? Alright. So I need to get these algae farms up and running. Which, I'm not sure how I want to do that. You find space engineers boring? It can be. It's not for everyone. I will tell people it is absolutely not for everyone. If you want a more exciting game with a similar feel, I generally like Empyrean Galactic Survival, personally. Which is actually what I've spent more time playing in Space Engineers. I'm out of steel plate again. But that's just a personal preference, really. Wow, out of iron again? Okay. That's alright. I only need one steel plate for what I'm doing. Yeah, we're gonna do that. And then my algae farms. Okay. I need more steel plate. Ah, goodness. Goodness gracious. Alright. More steel plate it is. Don't have any left in there. Back to the drilling. But yeah, I can understand that, you know, not everyone's going to like this game. I'm just doing a stream of it because I want to try out some of the survival mechanics they've added. You know, I used to play a lot of Space Engineers. But then I found that, you know, when it comes to this kind of game, well, there's certainly a group of people that enjoy playing this game. And I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy, you know, Space Engineers. Perfectly fine game, if you ask me. But for my play style, I tend to prefer Empyrean Galactic Survival, because I like games that have a bit more combat and a bit more trading and stuff. And while you can have trading and combat just fine in Space Engineers, it isn't really the focus of the game. Which, you know, if that's the kind of thing that you prefer, well, obviously, then that's what you're going to want to play. So that's why I prefer Imperial Galactic Survival. And it also, the drawback is you don't get some of the technical building that you can do in Space Engineers and Imperial Galactic Survival. It's a lot more simplified in the sense of, you know, you just build what you want, and as long as everything's on the same ship and whatnot, it's connected together. There's like no other real issue about it. Okay. Let's set that up. There we go. Okay, so now we get to find out if I'm doing this right. There we go. We'll do like 3 algae farms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've heard 6 is a good number. Okay. Oh my god, I don't want your help tutorial. Right, I don't need this block. There we go. Oh, that's what it was connected to. Never mind. I just messed all that up. Okay. Oh, good. Good. Alright. Bad. Bad space wolves. Those doggos. What is... Oh, goodness. Another one? Good lord. Did I build in your yard or something? Like, that's something they've kind of amped up a little bit too, is like, you know, the attacks of the wolves and stuff. Which that actually kind of appeals to me a little bit. You know, let's see here. Let me throw those in the food. Alright, so I need to figure out something to do with all this. With all this raw meat. I'm gonna have to get a food processor out. Okay. How do I build a food processor? Food processor? Storage. Algae. Medical room. Survival kit. Refinery. Similar. Food items. Okay. Nope. Large blocks. Nope. Production. Maybe it's under production. Here we go. Let's see here. Survival kit. Industrial refinery. Survival kit type 2. Okay. Auction farm. Half algae farm. Nope. Hmm. Nope. These are not what I'm looking for. Logistics, maybe? Corridor. Modular cargo. Large industrial. Nope. It's all like storage stuff. Nope. That's not what I'm looking for. Utility? I'm basically looking for a food processing unit. There's an ATM. Clearly what I'm looking for. Hmm. Okay. DLC blocks. Apex Survival. Here we go. We should have it in here. Storage bin. War detector. Warning signs. Survival kit. Nope. Inset planter. Nope. Okay. Alright, let's just go to home. And I would have thought it'd been here next to the algae farm. Medical room. Is survival kit? Nope, that's just type 2. Similar. Industrial. Basic. Nope. Binary. Nope. What am I missing? Alright, we're just gonna search for it. Food. No. Processor. I guess I will starve to death. Goodness. Alright. If someone wants to tell me where the food processor is in this, that would be fantastic, because I'm apparently just blind. Corner medical room? Nope. Industrial similar. So, man, where the heck is this thing? At this rate, I'm gonna just have to throw algae farm components into the survival kit and just call it there. Alright, so let's just do our block up there. That's fine. And then we can do our algae farms, because I gotta get these algae farms going. Ain't got time to fight it and figure out what's going on there. There we go. Alright. There we go. Nope, come on. Nope. Nope. Come on. There it goes. Oh, I had it. Come on. There we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 6. 6 should do it. Alright. So what we'll do is we'll bring this out this way some. Okay. I don't have... Yeah, I got you. I got you. Thing. I don't have enough steel plate. Can I have some more steel plate, game? I can. Thank you. Production. Steel plate. I didn't realize I was that low on iron. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. 9. All right, let's go ahead and get this first one kind of going here. Yeah, do that to me. Okay. Yeah, just do this. So I can get up to it. I need more tubes and steel plate. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have built over top the iron mine. I'm just gonna mine a whole bunch of stone here. The stone will become iron, even if it's not at the rate that I want, but it's alright. I love this just so I can make algae to convert into algae ships. Alright.
Inventory full.
Did I get some magnesium there? I hope I didn't. Alright, let's see here. Okay, it's all just stone. That's good. Make more iron, please. Throw the extra in there.
Inventory full.
Go. Throw this in here, too. Come on. There we go. How's my production doing? Good, it's still making more and more of that. I'm not even sure we actually get enough sun in this area for the algae farms. I don't know. The algae farms, much like solar panels, need sun to function. And our last time we had sun, it wasn't, like, all that great. There it goes. Okay. Let's go into our control panel production. I'm going to need... What is it? Well, I'll do these things need. So I need 60 bulletproof glass, 30 steel tubes, 30 construction components, and 10 computers, and 30 steel plate. So for 6, I'm going to need a whole bunch of steel plate. Alright. So much stuff we need for these things. Alright. So let's grab... So let's go ahead and get, like, the 60 computers queued up here. And then we're going to cancel that. We're going to get computers going. Can't do the bulletproof glass here. Can't do the construction components. We'll also go ahead and queue up. Let's see here. 6 times 30. 240 steel plate. See if we've got enough. How much do I got in my inventory? None. Okay. Okay. Joy. Gonna take these computers over here. All of this just to make food. Okay. There we go. There's that one. There's that one. Go. Okay. I'm gonna go into here. How much hydrogen do I have? Control panel, hydrogen, small hydrogen tank. Okay, so I still got a fair amount of hydrogen, so I can actually, I'll be fine on that. Okay, that should be the last computers I need. Alright, let's see here. For the people just joining, I'm trying to get my algae farm up and going for the survival part of Space Engineers that they've just added. And I'm hoping that one of those two directions is east and west. Otherwise, I've really messed up my algae farm. We'll find out when the sun comes up. And so good on power on my rover, so I'll be fine there for a bit. The other thing I'm going to need is a lot more iron. Yeah, because... Yep, so now I need bulletproof glass and tubes and construction components. Just need so many resources. Alright, let me grab this silicon here. I can take that over to here. Use it to make a bulletproof glass here. Let's go to the assembler. Go to production, bulletproof glass. I need, what, 30 per? Let's see if I can make 24. So I think it was 30 per, right? Right? It was... No, it's 60 per. So I actually need 600. Or, not 600. 360. Oh, goodness. And we also have wolves. Get off of my base. Dang wolves. And they tore me up good. They brought me down to about half health. Alright. Let's see if they come back. They broke one of my blocks. You see this? Naughty wolves. I'm sitting here trying to nicely build my little spot. And these wolves are just going to tear up all of my stuff. I can throw this in here and get some more iron, which is nice. Really? Oh, right, because I have to put it down here. There we go. Production. Make me all the steel tubes that'll make. There we go. There we go. Alright. Got some more steel plate. Let's see your production. Make me like... Okay. Wow, we are real low on materials over here. Alright. Take this iron as well. Okay. Iron. Silicon. There we go. Okay, so now I just need more tubes, which means more iron. I really should have... This is really telling me, you should build this near your iron mine. Because it's just mining stone to get all this is very slow and painful. So, for those of you sitting here watching this with me, watching me struggle through mining tons and tons of stone, I appreciate you all. Alright. Come on. More iron, please. Actually, I think the basic refinery, or the refinery I have on my base will also do this. I think actually at a rate, too. So let's go take a load over there. So we're going to go take a load over there.
Inventory
And see how this does. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, much faster. There we go. And that'll also save us power on our rover there. Okay, there we go. That should be enough stone to get us
Inventory full.
another couple loads. I know this probably has not been the most exciting gameplay to watch, but I appreciate you all watching it. This is just a stream learning about the new survival mechanics, and I find them to be difficult. Yeah.
Inventory full.
Alright. I'm just going to keep hauling stone up there, because I don't have iron. There we go. How's my production doing? We're getting there. Oh, my wind died. Let's see here. Control panel. Yeah. My wind done died on me. Now that's going to make production a little hard. No power equals no production. And this comes back to where I wish I could make batteries. Alright, let's grab some more of this stone. I guess we're going to have to go back to chucking it into the old survival kit.
Inventory full.
Now, there is a mod that I used to play with when I used to play this game a lot more consistently. It would let you... they basically turned on auto pickup when you're mining. It's a very handy mod. There we go. Since this is running off battery power, I know it has a hydrogen tank. Let's go ahead and sit in here, recharge our energy. So used to, you didn't have to worry about feeding your character either. That's one of the changes. That's part of the reason I'm fighting so hard to get these algae farms built. Because feeding my character is going to become very critical soon. I need more construction components. Direction? Where are you going? Let's cancel that. I need more construction components. Alright, let's go down here, get some more stone. Because I'm not going to get these built without construction components, which I'm going to need iron for. Iron is kind of our big holdup right now, folks. And I'm not sitting on my iron mine that I found earlier. Which means we're going a little slow on production here, which is unfortunate. Yep, that'll get some more iron going. If I can get at least one algae farm going. Yeah, so now we're just at the point where we just need the construction components. I need the bulletproof glass for this one. So glass, construction components. We're getting closer. What are we doing over here? Still need more bulletproof glass. Until the wind picks up, that can't work. How are we doing? There we go. Alright. I think we can get the first one made. And people, feel free to comment, chat, talk about things, ask questions. We need 10 more. 10 more. 10 more construction components. There we go. There we go. Alright, so this will be our first algae farm. There we go. Alright, now it's got 0 light. That's what those little red lights on the front mean. Once the sun comes up, we'll know whether or not this is the right orientation for these things or not. Until then, back into the mines. That seems to be our life right now, is mining. Yeah. Now, I'm probably not going to stream too much longer, folks, because, you know, I do need to go and see to dinner with the family and all that. So we'll do a couple more loads of rocks here, see if we can't get to sunup anyways. Be nice if I had, like, a heads-up display to tell me when sunup was going to come. Yep, I'm supposed to... I thought I had more... Let me... Do I have more heads-up display settings? Nope. Alright. Really wish I had more power generation going. We're going to throw this in here. There we go. Get what components we can. Now, y'all should see mining in space, though. See, right here, it all falls down into a little kind of divot I've made in the bottom of my mine shaft, right? In space, it will go flinging off into space. Which can be exciting, to say the least. You have to go chase down your ore and stuff. That's part of the reason having that auto pickup mod was so nice. Alright. Kind of wish I knew how much longer until the sun comes up. Well, okay, so we're starting to get some light over there. So... we might be facing east here with these. Alright. Might not be the worst situation. Alright, so let's see here. Let's get... what is it? 40 of these per... yeah, there's about like 30 of those per... and let's grab... yes, these are what? Iron. Both these are iron. We'll grab the silicon here. We'll take that over to here. And throw the silicon into the basic assembler. Control panel. How much do you take? You require 240. Okay, what about you? Require 20. What are you producing? You're producing 190. Alright, so our power is starting to climb back up slowly. Basic refinery is starting to get there. Really what I need is probably one more wind turbine to kind of keep me going. There we go. Yep, see? Now we're starting to kick through, and it's pulling it down here into the refinery. There we go. Alright. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, what can I get over here? It needs more glass. Okay. What about you? Alright. There we go. And you. Okay. How are we doing over here? We got components. Running out of iron again. Okay. We might be able to get a second algae farm up and running here. Go. Still got some extra components. So I just need more bulletproof glass. Alright, so let's go down and see if we can't grab some more rock. And then we'll do what we can here, folks. See if we can't get these things up and see if we actually start producing algae. And then we're also going to have to see if we can't build another couple wind turbines to keep that power going. Maybe even some batteries at some point. There we go. Oh god, this makes me
Inventory full.
desire to have a logistics system set up where I've got like a drill and storage units and all that. Because that would make my life so much easier right now. Because even if I was having to live off just mining stone for the time being, at least then it'd all be auto-fed. But we don't have the power grid to even support that kind of thing yet. Nor do we have cobalt. So to make the big storage crates and all that, you need cobalt to make these. So if we go over here to production, you see these metal grids? Notice it requires 1 unit of cobalt to make them. That's our big hold up for making big storage units. Yeah, the sun looks like it's coming up over there. Alright, how are we doing inventory-wise? Production, we got all that. Let's grab that. How we doing? How we doing? Need more bulletproof glass. Okay. Okay. Production. We need more silicon. Means we need more stone. Endless stone. Kind of makes me wish we could, like, mine sand. Suppose I should quit being lazy and go over there and mine the silicon. Problem is, I also need the iron, so at this point this is actually mildly more efficient for me. Why did my lights suddenly get a lot brighter in here? Is the sun finally coming up? Is that what I'm getting? Okay, I'm gonna stop crouching. This should be enough stone to get us going for a little bit.
Inventory full.
There we go. Yep, looks like the sun's starting to come up. I turn off my lights. Get my gun out, just in case the wolves come back. Definitely need my lights down here. Okay. Right now we're still doing a lot of this whole grabbing rocks. I really need to go dig down to that silicon over there. Go. Alright. Waiting to see if the sun comes up soon. Looks like it's raising over there, which would be great, depending on where we are on the map. There we go. Because that'll let our algae farms finally get to work. Finally produce some algae. There we go. As our production here is just absorbing like every bit of silicon and iron it can get right now. Yeah, look at that. I think that's enough to maybe finish our second algae farm, though. It's enough to get it functional. Ah, not quite. I still need a lot more. Oh my goodness. Alright, where's that silicon? Where's that silicon? Silicon is down that way. So let's go down here. We're gonna split off a tunnel here. Okay, where's the fastest route to the silicon there? And what I'm doing right now is I'm using what is this? Okay, so that's just stone. That's good. So I'm using the right-click function of the drill, which will mine faster. As I try to get to the silicon, because I'm going to need more silicon. But actually, I'm going to switch back to the left click, just because I will need the stone for iron at this point. But let's get over there to the silicon first. So I'm going to need that silicon. Come on, silicon. There we go. Keep on. Keep mining. This comes back to where I need like a logistics system to just pull all this out and process it for me. Be fantastic. There we go. We're getting there. Also makes me wish I had a drill ship. Or that I was playing Imperium Galactic Survival, where all of that would be a thing. Alright, I've definitely got like a bit of a hole here. We're gonna have to just pick some of this up. There, definitely just heard some sort of crash behind me. In my kitchen. Alright, well, let's get this out of here. Is this so slow? Am I crouched down that much that I can't run? There it goes. That's weird. I am stuck on something.
Energy low.
There we go. I had to knock out some of the roof. Yeah, I got it. Energy low. Life support low. Alright, go hop in the truck for a second. Refill everything. Alright. While we're sitting here in the truck, waiting for my energy to restore, I guess I'll eat my last pack of kelp crisps. And hope that I get some food soon. Wish I could cook the wolf meat. I have, like, tons of wolf meat. Can't cook it. Also can't find the thing that'll let me cook it in the G menu here. Oh, that's... Sitting here going, why is this not showing me the G menu? That's because it was showing me the menu for the vehicle. Somewhere in here there's a food processor unit. And I have no idea where it is. Oh, it's right there, next to the algae farm. It just showed up. Fantastic. Okay. So, you will replace that. There we go. Because this is what I need right here. Food processor. Hello. You're going to go right here. That's not what I wanted. Where is it? Nope. There we go. You're going to go right here. There we go. Cool. Do I have the stuff for this? No, I still need bulletproof glass. That's alright. That's alright. Food processor good. Okay. So we now can make... Well, hopefully soon we can make food. Let's go ahead and just grab these materials. Alright. Because I was trying to mine over here to the silicon.
Inventory full.
But right now, I just need food. And the fastest way to do that is going to be just throwing these rocks into the refinery and getting the materials I need. Come on. Give me the materials we need, game. Because I need a bunch more. Alright, yep, so the algae farm is working. Yeah. It's producing algae, at least that's the theory. Let's take a look. Control panel. Algae farm. Yep. Current efficiency is 91%. We'll take it. So, 3 minutes, we'll have algae. We'll be able to make food. Food, food, glorious food. We're not going to starve to death, folks. Okay, actually, let me get my thing out here. Yeah, I'm just running through here with my head standing up just to knock out the ceiling to make it easier to get through here. Meanwhile, I'm going to come back and grab all these rocks as well. The sooner we get all that processed, the sooner I can get my algae farms up and running, and the sooner I can get the food processor up and running. There we go. Am I at the end of the tunnel? I am. Okay.
Inventory.
There we go. Now I can just run through here without having to crouch. I'll make traversing this a lot faster. More rocks. There we go. The other thing I'll do is eventually get some solar panels. What am I caught on? I am caught on something here. Bad ceiling. Alright. Oh, alright.
Inventory.
There we go.
Full.
Okay. And once you get like an actual drill ship going, like even just a little atmospheric one, it really speeds this stuff up nicely. Alright, let's see how we're doing on materials. I got some more glass. Still not enough. Okay, so I've got all the metal pipes I need. That's good. Inventory. Had a few extra, that's fine. Actually, what do you need? Do you need metal pipes? No. Seriously, that only got me one more bulletproof glass? God, still looking hungry. Okay. And I've also kind of heard the algae farms and the algae crisps they produce. Well, they'll keep your character alive. You'll never really be full on food value. That's what I've heard. Don't know how true that is. So obviously, I'm just now starting out. Just trying this out for the first time. But there we go. Put this in here. Let's see here. Do I have algae crisps? I have some algae. Nice. Alright, so I can take this to the survival kit and cook this, because this is algae. Alright, survival kit. Make me food. How much? I need 4 algae. Okay. Note to self, that is not enough algae. At least I do know that we'll get good sunlight here. Now we're only getting 1 now. Interesting. So we don't get full sunlight very long. What is my efficiency on that? Only 50% efficiency, so it's taking 5 minutes for algae right now. Oof. Oof. That's going to be rough. Alright, let me grab this. Production. Hold on. Inventory. Yeah, we're going to put all this down here. There we go. Production. Let's go ahead and get... What do I need for this? I need steel plate, motors, construction components. Alright, so let's do that. Steel plate. Let's get like 20 steel plate. 20 those. I think it was what, 10 motors. Alright, let's see how that gets us going here. Alright. So I'm going to need 20 more. There's only 4. I need 2 displays, though, and some computers. Can you make displays? You don't have enough silicon to make displays. Or computers. Like that. No, you can make computers. Weird. Let's go ahead and get... Nope, nope, nope. That was not... I didn't need... There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and make 20 more of those. Started to make 100 computers. I don't need 100 computers. That would have been overkill. Alright, here we go. What about now? So we just need the displays, and we do need some more computers. Can I make more computers? 4? So a bit more. So we're pretty close. Alright, so if we just had the displays, we could get that working. Alright. Well, that's back to the mines, which means silicon. I feel like that's more just down. Now, I could just dig a hole straight down, but I don't want to do that, because I do have limited jetpack fuel right now.
Inventory full.
Alright. There we go. And that little sound that keeps popping up with the AI helper up there in the top is kind of annoying, to be honest. There we go. Alright, there's that. Let's go grab some more of the stone as we try to get down to the silicon. If we can get down to the silicon, we'll be alright. That'll solve our silicon problems.
Inventory full.
While also allowing us to, as we keep throwing the stone in there, we're pulling out. That'll keep our iron going for our basic iron needs at the moment. But I am definitely not the most efficient player of Space Engineers. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, crouch. I'm just going to use the right click to get down here to the silicon. Because the right click will destroy terrain faster without filling it up with rock. Alright, we get silicon yet? No, doesn't look like. Well, looks like we're above it. Still. Main thing with silicon is it starts to look a lot like the rock, so it's hard to see sometimes. We're close to it. Yeah, matter of fact, we've hit silicon. This kind of dark gray rock here is silicon, so we started to mine into the silicon using the destroy function instead of the mine function.
Inventory.
But there we go. Alright, so let's get out of here. Oh, if we can. There we go. Alright. We finally found silicon after much back and forth mining. Alright. There we go. Silicon. And that'll get us a much better ratio on... Yeah, see, that's getting us a lot better ratio on this. So I'm going to cancel this for a second, and I'm going to go ahead and say, give me, like, 2 of those. There we go. And then we'll say, all bulletproof glass you can. And then we'll do this. And There we go. We now have a functional. So there we go. So we can do this. And now we have a functional food processor, which can actually cook the meat. Yay! We have saved ourselves from starvation. So we can come into here. There's a... You can throw the meat in here. There we go. And production. And there it is. We can make the animal meat. And there we go. Look at that. We have food, folks. And that gives us 18% value on our filling meter. So there we go. We will now eat one of the wolves that has been plaguing us. And I think we'll end our stream there, folks. So I want to thank you all for coming by and watching as I played and explored the new survival aspects of Space Engineers. And you just heard my son walk up and say hello.
And bye.
And bye. He's saying bye. But thank you all for joining. If you like this, like and subscribe. We're not always going to be doing Space Engineers. I'm primarily a Vintage Story and Zomboid streamer. And I like to mix in a few other games here and there. Generally in survival trading aspects.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
thank you all for joining us. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Same.